A bit more about Manchester United and specifically about a certain player that they have brought in because they have officially signed Carlos Baleba. This is what United had to say about it. Brace yourselves. At the age of 22, Baleba has already established himself as one of the most talented midfielders in the Premier League. During the 2024-25 season, his combined number of tackles and interceptions was the 6th highest among midfielders in the league, while he also ranked 4th highest for progressive ball carry per 90 minutes. Last season, Baleba played 31 games in the Premier League, ranking in the top 8% of players for combined tackles and interceptions, as well as the top 1% for second balls won, helping Brighton and Hove Albion to qualify for the UEFA Conference League. My days, what a wordy statement that is. And Augie, I'm told you wrote it for United.
Oh, yeah, I said it, Paul, like, looking at my stats, I mean, the top 1% of second balls won, and they get in the Conference League. You know, let's get the balloons and the party poppers out. They get the qualifier for the Conference League. I mean, look, does he win his tackles? Does he make a pass? Can he score some goals? I mean, that's what we need to know. Some of these nonsense stats are probably not helping Baleba. It almost sounds like United trying to justify this signing and say, look, he's a really good player, really, look at his stats. He's a good player. He's got an injury at the minute, and they need somebody with a bit of power in midfield, but that's just nonsense, isn't it? I'm sure Stevie's all over that. I'm sure Stevie agrees with every word that they said in that statement.
Nothing Stevie loves more than just specific stats like that, right, Stevie?
If ever something told you to try to convince you to sign a player, is that. I don't remember when Van Nistelrooy signed or Jap Stam or anything like that. I don't remember Fergie throwing out any stats. Just what he did on the field was enough for your eyes.
It's like, don't worry, guys, calm down. We've got someone good. Look.
Yeah,
top 1% of second balls.
That's a little bit embarrassing. The truth of the matter is, there's a chance that this kid could be fantastic, but there's an equal chance that he will be not quite as good as you think he's going to be. He had a fantastic 2 seasons ago, season before last. It was, oh my goodness, who is this? It actually reminds me of the forward they had. Is it Craig Ferguson? No, not Craig Ferguson. Evan Ferguson, the Irish boy. So for 6 months you're like, oh my goodness, where have they got this guy from? And then he dropped off the edge of the earth, pretty much. I couldn't even tell you where he is now. And so for me, Baleba not quite fell off the earth last season, but kind of disappeared. I know he had a couple of injuries, but as you said, I was shocked when I read he played 31 games.
Yeah.
I never noticed him playing much at all. So, yeah, again, a bit like the Savio thing. It looks like all the tools are there, but are we going to see them on a regular basis? And again, as Oggie's already said, the transfer fees are a little a kilter, and 65 million for a guy who just was okay last season kind of seems a lot.
Augie, where does he fit into this current Manchester United team, considering the signings that they have already made this summer?
Yeah, and you've also got Kobbie Mainoo to play, because Kobbie Mainoo's not kicked a ball yet. So they've got 4 midfielders. I mean, Tielemans is different. Tielemans is a player with plenty of experience, and he plays a bit further forward. And I think Tielemans will be the one that they can rely upon. But look, they need bodies because they're in the Champions League this season. They only played 40 games last season, 1 game in each cup, so that they've never played so few games in the Premier League, so they need a squad, and I guess Michael Carrick's going to have to rotate around, but I'm not quite sure when he gets his first choice midfield what it'll be. Is it going to be Kobbie Mainoo and Baleba? Is it going to be Baleba and Tielemans? I don't think it'll be Andre Santos, but who knows? Well, I mean, when Baleba gets fit, which could be 2-3 weeks away, he's on his ankle ligament, I would be tempted to go with Baleba and Kobbie Mainoo behind Tielemans, but then where do you fit in Bruno Fernandes? So none of them are absolutely standout midfielders at the holding midfield. That's the problem. None of them you think they're the guy. They're all a bit wait and see, aren't they?
So, Augie, what grade would you give this signing then, Professor Ogden?
Baleba, I would give him. I give him a C+, because I think he's, like Stevie said, he's got a lot of potential to come good. But he had a dip last season. And did he have the dip because Man United were linked with him and it got into his head? And if that's the case, then what's he going to be like playing for Man United and wearing the shirt and having the pressure that comes with it? So if he was affected by the speculation, it's not a good sign that he might actually deal with the actual reality of playing for Man United. So, but on the face of it, he's a good player. He's got a lot of power. He can move the ball around quite well. And he does give United that athleticism and that strength they've not had for quite a long time. So C+, and it could be a B+ if he does well next season.
Don, the boys don't seem entirely too convinced with this signing. How do you take it?
No, I'm having him. I was lucky enough to watch lots of Brighton games at Brighton and away from home. So I've seen him at pitch level. And he was a £100 million midfield player 2 seasons ago. I think his head was turned by Man United. He suffered 1 or 2 injuries. And the biggest takeaway, which might sound really strange, but my biggest takeaway from watching Carlos Baleba at pitch side is sometimes the game's a little bit too easy for him. So he then tries to do the hard things, which is not his game. He'll try a flick, he'll try a trick. That's not his game. He's a player that can play number 6, patrol the midfield, protect his centre-backs, win the ball back. He's got good energy, good legs, and then feed it to better players. That's where he excels. I was watching a player last year that was just suffering from a little bit of confidence. So to get him for 65, as the boys have said, 100 million the season before, I think somewhere in the middle of that might be his true price range. But in terms of the ability that he's got and the potential that he's got, I think for Man United, this could be a terrific signing.
Oh, how many times did Don say that he's had the privilege of watching him pitch side and at pitch level last season? Must be nice. I think it was Don that wrote that statement for Manchester United.
Before you get too carried away, remember what he said. Could.
Yeah.
Just cooling your jets.
Cooling your jets. All right, well, let's talk about Nico Gonzalez. The perfect person to stick with is Don for this one. Don, because Newcastle now signing the Manchester City man for 52 million. So how are you grading this one?
Oh, I'm grading this like an 8 out of 10. I don't know about the grades. I'm not sure on the grades. That's not my forte. But I think buying a holding midfield player for Newcastle in the window that they've had after, 2 months ago, it was pretty doom and gloom. Felt as though we were losing all our best players left, right and centre. And all of a sudden, the club have gone out and spent or brought 3 or 4 players in, if Nico signs, for the one in Bruno Guimaraes or the one in Tonali for 100 million. So I'm grading Newcastle's window, considering who's left, exceptional for the fees that's been spent. So, what you wouldn't want to see is the departures on the right-hand side and then no players coming in on the left-hand side. So they're going younger. They're going faster. They've gone with really young players to find experience like Nico to play that number 6, to let the young kids go and fly and go and play. I think for Newcastle United, this could be a brilliant sign and exactly what they need.
Brilliant.
I feel very negative today. Don's...
I know, I saw you shaking your head over there when Don was
all
explaining.
Positive and smiling and all kinds. Listen, when Manchester City was struggling, where was Nico Gonzalez?
Hard to get instead of Rodri, though.
He was generally sat on his backside on the bench. I mean,
maybe just needs
if you're going to be the number 6, apparently, can't believe I just said that, a number 6. If you're going to be the defensive midfielder, then are you really going to rely on Nico Gonzalez stopping teams getting at your back line? I'm sorry, he's at his best when he's got the ball at his feet and he gets on it and he knits things together and he starts things off. The one thing that I don't remember Nico Gonzalez ever doing is breaking things up. And if that's why you're signing him, and I don't remember him doing that, then it's difficult for me to get carried away. He's great with the ball at his feet, neat and tidy, the whole thing.
Depends what you want, though, isn't it? Depends what you want. I mean, the classic example of a number 6 is Busquets. He was never a destroyer. It depends what you want. I think he was very unlucky when he signed that. He was going to be back up to Rodri, and you're never going to get instead of Rodri's position. So,
but Rodri was out.
See, the difference with Busquets, though, Don, is Busquets had the most incredible football brain. So his reading of the game was just sensational. You can't class Nico Gonzalez in that.
No.
So that's kind of where I'm coming at.
All right. Well, we agree on that. Right. All right. Well, I want to know, Augie, now, because it seems like Manchester City are stockpiling some cash now, Augie. Do you feel like maybe they're ready or trying to get ready to place in a late bid for a certain Enzo Fernandez?
Well, you said they're stockpiling cash. They spent a fair bit. They've already spent £200 million on Bawadi and Elliot Anderson, so they've spent all right, to be fair. I think they will try and get Enzo Fernandez, but I'm not sure that Chelsea need to sell him. I think obviously the reaction that Enzo received at Fulham on Monday night was very negative from the away fans, which he's going to get this season. But I think the Chelsea fans almost like got him back on side. So the Chelsea fans aren't as hostile as they were a couple of weeks ago. So I think it would be self-defeating by Chelsea to let him go, especially to a rival like Man City. I think Chelsea will fight hard to keep him, but obviously Chelsea ultimately will decide on the basis of money. And if they can make a profit on Enzo Fernandez, they might let him go. But I think obviously with Enzo and Caicedo, when they're both together, Chelsea have got a very strong midfield, and Chelsea could push hard for the title this season. So why are you going to weaken yourself by letting him go to Man City? So I think that's probably less likely to happen than likely at this stage.
Don, you wanted to get in on this one?
Well, yeah, I think Enzo Fernandez, Alexis, is best positioned as a number 10. And then that displaces Phil Foden or Ryan Cherky. It's not like they need, in my opinion, a number 10. I mean, I've been saying it for a long time when they need a number 9. You know, Julian Alvarez left the club for 95 million to Atletico Madrid. And then it was like Marmoush's backup. If they ever got an injury to Haaland, who's going to play number 9 for Man City? So I think that's the position they should be looking at, another goal scorer.
All right, well, speaking of Chelsea, Liam Delap has left Chelsea and he's joining Nottingham Forest now for around £50 million. Stevie, you like this one?
Well, I like it because I think he's perfect for Forest in the way they play. You know, I don't think he's good enough to play in any of the top sides around Europe, but I think he absolutely will fit in at Forest, you know. You know, people like Alonyi that have just left and Chris Wood, you know, they've all had good careers at Forest because of the way Forest play. And this, to me, suits him. You know, he'll have more time and space because it'll be more counter-attack. He'll be able to use his strength to hold off defenders, and then he'll hold it up, and then the guys with pace will get close to him. I think this will suit him down to the earth, down to the ground. He's not good enough for the way Chelsea or any of the top sides play because in small spaces and less time and all the cuter things about the game it's not his game. You know, the strength, the legs, running in behind, holding people off, being big and strong. So I think this is a great move for him, and I think he's perfect for Nottingham Forest.
Don, this more his level?
Yeah, without being disrespectful, I think he looks like a younger, faster version than Chris Wood. I could see this working. I think he's got the attributes. I think he's got ability. I think he's just lost a little bit of confidence. You take the big money move to Chelsea and it doesn't quite work, and the fans are on you a little bit. Then all of a sudden you find yourself about 5th choice. I think go and sign for Glasner at Forest. You'll be more or less the guaranteed number 9. This might be a fantastic move for him.
Okay, I want to talk about the prices for these players now, because just hearing all the boys talking about it, it doesn't seem like they're 100% convinced about these players, because they didn't exactly set the world on fire at their respective clubs last season or the season before, yet we are seeing these wild prices for them. Is this just the way the Premier League is going now?
Well, Nico, that's a profit for Man City. He made a profit on a guy that barely plays. Liam Delap, a £20 million profit for Chelsea. I don't understand it. I don't understand why clubs are spending so much money on players that haven't justified it. And obviously Delap was a Chelsea bought him on a £30 million clause fee last year, so they'll say, well, they got him on the cheap and they've grown his value. But he barely played last season, and he's had a different earth. He's worth £20 million more than he was a year ago.
Oh, I believe we lost Augie. You know how that Wi-Fi works up north in Manchester. Oh, he's back, Augie. You can continue.
Yeah, I don't understand how these fees have been justified, because the money in the game is the money in the game. But why, if you're a buying club, would you spend way over the odds on a player? Now, I agree with the guys. Delap I think is a good signing for Forest. He made the wrong move last year.
All right, well, we kept trying there on that one.
All kinds of going on in Manchester, guaranteed.
A lot's going on in Manchester, indeed.